Three of the Gwinnett County teens found shot to death on top of Bell Mountain say the GBI has botched its investigation. GBI investigators ruled it a double suicide last month after saying the twins took their own lives by each shooting themselves.
This writer Chase Howell spoke with the family along with the NAACP, who was calling on the GBI to hand over the evidence.
The headline of this newspaper asking what happened to Kajir and Nazir Lewis wasn't the only question on people's minds Friday.
I find it very hard to believe, as a 21-year practicing attorney, that these individuals drove to a mountain they did not know, up a windy, dark road behind a gate that was locked, and killed themselves.
Tyrese Lewis, the boy's father, suffered a stroke in November and couldn't say much during Friday's press conference. But those around him used their voices for him, calling into question the GBI's findings, saying the way their bodies were found, it doesn't make sense.
Positioned with their feet almost touching, but spread out to where their heads were fanned out. Their arms were out. Their heads were facing upward.
The family says that GBI closed the case and that they've been trying to see the evidence but have been blocked from getting it. So they submitted an open records request.
Some cases, the family could file a request for a magistrate court judge to hear the evidence through a warrant application hearing and potentially open a criminal investigation. Or they could take it to the district attorney of that circuit and turn over the investigation.
The Lewis family, along with the NAACP, comparing the Lewis's death to that of Ahmaud Arbery, the unarmed black man who was gunned down in Georgia in 2020.
Many times in Georgia, the initial story does not hold up to scrutiny of independent eyes and independent investigators looking at it and turning over every stone.
The family, along with the NAACP, giving the GBI until Monday to release the findings, or they'll be back at the courthouse demanding to see the findings. In Gwinnett County, Chase Howell, 11 Alive News.
Now, we did reach out to the GBI, and while the family claims that the case has been closed, the GBI says that the case is still very much open. When they do close the case, the spokesperson says that they will update their website.
What's going on, everybody? How y'all doing? Good evening. Yeah, I know that's one heck of an introduction. How y'all doing? I am not on camera tonight because my hair is not done. What's happening? What's happening? Y'all, we got a late live going. I've been hanging out with my son today. How y'all doing? What's going on, Candia? What's going on, Traveling Mom? Skeeter and Mark, how y'all doing? Enrique. Oh, man. Hey, Jeff. Shout out to all of you all, to my mods that's here. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Make sure you guys are hitting that like button. It's 20 of you all here. Y'all, we got a good show for tonight. So as you all can see the title, right? And I wanted to start off the show. Hey, H-Spag. How's it going? I hope everybody's good. I had a good Saturday today. They had some rain down here in my area off and on. It's annoying. Messes with the electricity out here. I'm tired of it. Man, so you guys can see the title of the show for tonight with Super Stupid, Pleading the Fifth, because reasons. And then we have Deception and Misrepresentation. So there are a few things I'm going to discuss in the show tonight that kind of touches on that. And that starts with the video here that you guys just saw. This is the Lewis family doing a press conference today regarding the twins that were found in the mountains of Georgia here in my state, deceased. They were 19 years old, smart kids, graduated, going to catch a flight, hang out with some friends. Next thing you know, they're found deceased in, 45 minutes or so plus away from their home in the mountains of Georgia. And the GBI, the Georgia Bureau of Investigations, wants to rule it as basically a suicide type of sort of situation, but no evidence. There ain't no evidence. What's going on, my dear? Thank you so much for the Cash App. I received it. What a blessing. $45, man. That warmed my heart. It almost made me cry. Thank you so much, my dear, for that. Shout out to all of you all that do financially support here, the platform in the Lady Luck Club. I appreciate all supers, Cash Apps, Zelle. I appreciate it. I forget to even, talk about ways to donate, but those are the ways to donate. If you guys want to, support the content and the great work here coming out of the LLC. You guys know I try to put on a good show in each live and to bring some information that you guys can find useful and helpful. And I'm just, blessed to have you guys tuning in and hitting that like button. That means a lot to me, especially on a late Saturday night. So thank you so much, my dear. And to all the rest of you all for tuning in. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hey, Tanya, how you doing? Y'all good? So the GBI, they're full of crap with these twins. And, I started the show off with that because when I do a separate video of this to the goons and the airheads of America, you get, people say dumb things like, oh yeah, I need to find something else to talk about. No, we're going to report on what we want to report on. It's called freedom of the press and freedom of speech. So kick rocks. But when I do talk about other topics, it's like I said, it's the reality situations about what people want to watch and what they want to tune into. But that news that I know I report on that is outside of super stupid, it doesn't catch a lot of attention like that. Not saying this is in the news, y'all. The GBI call themselves investigating this, and yet they can't prove that it was a suicide. So the family's having to do a foyer, and it's going to force the GBI to have to produce all of their findings, from DNA evidence to, I don't even think there was a ballistics report done. Usually they recreate the scene to determine, based on how the gunshot wounds were entered throughout the body or however else, or whether the shell casings were found. They can kind of, do an analysis to determine how someone fired the weapon. They can determine whether it was pointed sideways or straight up front or upside down. But none of that stuff has been produced in this matter. So, my family goes out. My heart goes out to this family. It really does. I'm a mom. And God forbid, I told you all, woo child, hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. Unless I'm having my kids, that's the quickest way for me to be scorned. I'm scorching the earth. I want y'all to understand that. Lady Luck Club will single-handedly cause Yellowstone volcano to erupt. So I'm having my kids. I'm just telling y'all that. I'm just giving y'all a heads up. You might want to get your bunkers and stuff. Get ready, go underground or out of space or wherever you need to go. Something happened to my kids. I'm a mama bear. I'm splitting the planet wide open. That's the end. The end. Don't come up when it comes to my kids. Don't come at me with that. So I had to vehemently defend myself when it came to my kids. I don't play that. Bring my children up or anything regarding my kids. Oh, I'm going all the way in. I'm splitting this planet wide open. Sometimes my response will not be heard. It might be seen. It might catch you off guard. I'm not it. I love my babies. Child, please. Yeah, but I can imagine this mom losing, both her children, these twins at the same time. It's crazy, y'all. So, oh my God. I know Skeeter said, I know, right? Tanya, it's a very sad case. I just can't, I cannot fathom it. I can't imagine what they're going through. And it's just heartbreaking. Why didn't the family already have a separate investigation going? I think that's what they're doing. I mean, they the police get so offended because, you go out and you say something they don't like. And they've been speaking out against the GBI and their findings because they've been saying this for a couple months. Oh, it was a suicide. As a matter of fact, I think within the first week or so after they were found and discovered, it was a suicide. Like, wait, how did we reach that conclusion again? So it's been something they've been saying. They just kind of forcing this in the mountains. Exactly. In the mountains, they've been forcing this whole, this is the result of our investigation. Is it now? They've been saying it almost since day one. Oh, it looks to us like it's just a murder suicide, like it's a murder suicide or something like that. One weapon. How did it? I'm sorry. Wait, what? So it's been a headache since day one, and the family. You can imagine. You keep trying to. It's like someone reporting their children missing, and the first thing the police want to say is, "Well, maybe they ran away." And then you being the parent, especially you being the mother, I gave birth to my kids. I know exactly what my kids like. I know my children. You know, we as parents, we know our children. I know my kids. I can tell you right now if my kids are the type of kids that would just run away from home. That's the worst thing that you can hear as a parent. Your kids are missing or dead and gone, and then the police trying to tell you what your kids did when you're saying, no, you don't know my children like that. You can't tell me my children are prone to run away when I'm telling you they've never thought about doing that. They're happy kids. They're good kids. I've never even had to worry about them sneaking out of my house. What do you mean they just ran away? Like, that's the worst thing you can hear as a parent. And the police do that all the time when they don't want to put in the work into anything. But you let some woman called Sherry Papini run around here and fake her damn abduction. Oh, that makes national news. Everybody looking for her. Turns out now she's facing criminal charges. I had facing criminal charges on this because she faked her abduction. But you get a parent sitting here saying, "How did you all come to this conclusion about my boys committing suicide?" And they can't tell you. They can't give you any evidence. They can't give you any information. Oh, we can't release that at this time. Case is still open. Get out of here. You're not going to tell me my children were depressed and suicidal. The devil is a liar. So, you know, they try to sit here and push that narrative. Even when kids are missing, they try to push that narrative. When you can tell when they just don't want to do shit. When the detectives are doing sloppy work, or it might be something they might be hiding. So I wanted to kick off the show with that, just to give an update on what's happening with that reporting. That I have a couple other videos that I reported on. It is horrible. Just a sad situation all around. So we're going to be tuning into it and keeping an eye out on this, and I'm going to keep reporting on it. And I guess I got included in my show about Super Stupid. So people can, you know, this could be something that you know, that's incorporated so that more people can see what's happening with it. But you know, it's very sad. It really is. Well, we're gonna move on to the next topic here. Y'all, Super Stupid pleading the fifth. Lord have mercy. Y'all, she went in there and pulled the whole Dave Chappelle. I plead the fifth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You going in here pleading the fifth. And then what's so crazy about this is, you know, Bo Briley is the slimiest of the slimiest. You know, the incompetency of it all. So he goes in there talking about, you know, saying the same thing. Oh, she's pleading the fifth. She's already said she's the face of the village. She was not the record keeper. No, you were the mayor, and you were responsible for what the hell happened in your administration and in your town hall. So you want to curtail responsibility here. That's not gonna happen. That's not gonna happen at all. What's going on? Here's what comments in. I know, right, Tanya? My dad said mine's grown. I still feel the same today. Oh yeah, always. Ooh, I missed a lot of comments. I'm sorry. Hold on. Let me go up. Traveling mom. They do have a I think they got a what you got, a PI, something to that extent. But they're definitely following the GBI tracks in the mountains, though. Yes, they were found deceased in the mountains. And that's why you have to be, what's going on, Enrique? That's why you have to be aware of where and who they are with. Absolutely. Get to know your friend, your children's friends and stuff. You know, monitor what they're doing online, on social media. Because it was the behind locked gate for me. Yeah. Crazy. Foul play. Exactly. How did they wind up with this man? That was a cover up. You know what? And the man that was arrested was like a volunteer firefighter of some sort for taking pictures of the bodies and releasing it. It's crazy. What are you doing? Like, why would you want to do that? It's so disgusting. But that was the only person charged in this whole thing. And they like you can't follow the street lights. Where there are no cameras in the street lights, they got video footage of them leaving a gas station, buying snacks and stuff. And then next thing you know, 11 hours later, they found dead in the mountains. So we all of a sudden now there's no trackers on the phones. We can't pinpoint or track follow their tracks with coordinates coming from their cell phone devices, because that's typically what they would do in any other situation. They didn't use cell phone data to pinpoint where they were going. No one else had a cell phone in the area. I mean, questions like that aren't being answered is the problem. And now the family has to do a FOIA request just to see whatever information from this investigation. This mother has to get this stuff on her own 2 children's day. Crazy. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. You never stop loving and being concerned about your kids and protecting them. I mean, when mine's wrong, I tell them when they're wrong. But was one thing I'm never going to do as a mother. I'm never going to condone any wrongdoing from my children, especially when it's just blatant. No. And I grew up with that. My grandmother, my godmother, my father, they made sure if you do something wrong, now we're not going to defend you when you're wrong. We'll defend you, protect you all day when you're right. But if you're just flat out wrong and you're in the wrong, we're not defending that. You face the music. So that's it's disingenuous to try to protect when they're wrong. But this woman knows her kids. They didn't do anything wrong. These like some good kids. It's hard for me to believe, just going over this case, that these kids were suicidal. It's just hard to believe that. She knows her children. She's like, my boys were not suicidal. What are they talking about? And sometimes people want to speak that into, the situation. And it's like, no, the devil is a liar. My kids are not depressed. They're not runaways. They're not thinking about that. They're not suicidal. They're not doing any of that. If they had any signs of that, I would make sure I take them to a doctor and get help. But no, they spent more time trying to defend the nonsense coming from the GBI than anything else, which is sad. So sad. Condolences to the family. Absolutely. Absolutely. Did you hear about the Chicago police officer that was deleted by her partner? No, I didn't. Good grief. Oh, man. Yeah, I don't like to hear about anybody being deleted by anyone. Will there be a police officer now? So that's sad to hear. Was she a mother? Oh, that's sad. It is. Hey, Lynette, how you doing? How's it going? She had the nerve to say she was successful in court. Y'all super. Who found them? They were found by a volunteer firefighter who then took pictures of their bodies and then was charged for it. A volunteer firefighter. See, stuff like that, that's concerning to me. I feel like he made that up just to cover up some nonsense he may have been doing. Well, how you get up here? You claim you just, somebody found him and then he was called out and he went out there. Crazy. But we will be following up on that. Trust me when I tell you that. We will be following up on that. I'll send you some links. And yes, they say she was a single mother of a young child. Yes, send me some links on that one. We'll check it out in the next show. Tomorrow we'll be speaking with Vivian, but probably Monday. We'll look into that, see what was going on. What was he doing up there? He's claimed to be a volunteer firefighter. Volunteer firefighter. How that went down and with him going up into the mountains, that's a $1 million question. Especially for him to go up there and take pictures of the deceased bodies and then try to share it. That's so disturbing. That was friendly fire. 36-year-old officer had been in the job with. Say, hey, Crystal, how you doing? Had been in the job with CPD for 4 years with a young child. Oh no. Friendly fire. Oh man, that's sad. Good grief. Oh man. Well, we're gonna definitely touch on. It was a video Foxy Taroxy sent me regarding the I want to say the mishandling with Kobe Chapman, because that's what it looked like to me. Still inexcusable. But we want to first touch on this right quick, and so we can understand why I titled the show regarding the deception and stuff like that. So if we go back to last year, based on this article from WGN TV, the lawsuit was filed. Edgar County Watchdogs was asking for some information, and Brinley stated here, because I knew they didn't have the documents, y'all. This was obvious, right? Whether she had them or not, she didn't produce them. So even if she didn't have them last year, then the question remains, why didn't she tell the court that last year when she was served with the actual lawsuit? Why didn't she get an attorney and go to court and tell the court, Your Honor, I don't really know exactly what they're asking for or what this is, but I don't have it. Here's an affidavit on it. And if they need anything else, they can reach out to us. Just the cooperation of it would have made the difference. But she treated it like, oh, well, they're talking about something old from last year. No, it wasn't old when they filed the lawsuit, Brinley and Super Stupid. You just took over a year and a half to address it. But if you didn't have whatever they were asking for with a document, they claim she held some up. She held up a piece of paper. Going back to a board meeting where they say she held up a single piece of paper. Who is they? is he saying they being Edgar County? Because, I mean, you know, if it's something that was done in a board meeting, it was recorded. The video is probably available to the public, all of planet Earth. And who is they? She held up lots of papers. Y'all remember the Facebook video she did where she was throwing up packets of paper? I did a video on that and I zoomed in on it, trying to figure out what was on the cover of the documents based on what she held up to the camera, and I was able to try to capture. And it looked like it was like a photocopy of somebody's badge. Just weird, you know, just random stuff. Anytime she held up papers, it wasn't the only time she did it in a board meeting. She did it in her Facebook videos. Anytime she did that, y'all, the first thing I did, I would try to look at it. Why didn't you just show the document on camera if you throwing up some stuff talking about, oh, look, I got this. Before y'all lying on me, I'm going to tell the truth on y'all. Look, listen, don't challenge us with a good time. Show the documents you got in your hand, girl. You going to hold this stuff up? At least put it up to the camera so we can read it. I said that with her video on Facebook. I'm like, just show the documents you talking about. Weird Ewok. You talking about somebody lying on you. Oh, okay, great. Can you show us the documents you talking about, please? That's all we cared about. We look here, Super Stupid. Just to let you know, we don't care about how you feel about anything. When you go holding up documents, and at the time you were an elected official, we're caring about what this document you holding up. We don't care about none of that shit you talking about, girl. Just show us the paper. She refused to do that. In how many videos? So it's laughable that all of a sudden now she's getting mad because it's catching up to her. That's what happened, y'all. It caught up to her. She held some up with the idea or the intent that it was to prove something had been canceled. Oh, okay, cool. So whatever that is, we want to see it. And that's what happened with the lawsuit. Edgar County Watchdog said, you holding up pieces of paper talking about something had been canceled. Fine, show it to us. So now they want to sit here like they don't know what happened. All the meetings and all the stuff, all the shit she kept up, right? All that drama she kept up. She's going back to some board meeting where they say she held up. They who? all of us said she kept holding up papers that no one could read. I don't know how, and couldn't expect her to remember what that was given, how many meetings there have been, and how much chaos there was in Dalton that she kept up. So that's what this is going back to. So she went to court talking about, I plead the fifth. You know, this FBI investigation is still going on because of that. Oh, I don't want her to incriminate herself on that. Now, when she does dumb things and gets called out on it, you can't sit here and say, well, my client has the right to throw a temper tantrum and no one should be asking questions. No, we're going to ask questions, Pimp. Brinley, you are the worst. You are the absolute worst attorney ever. Yeah, he's awful. Oh, she's not she's not in office anymore. We bless God for that. We know she's not. So this is pretty much the article that just kind of speaks to what happened with court. And then here is Illinois leaks, y'all. We're going through this because I want to get to the video. I don't want to keep you all night. I know it's late, but this is yeah, this is something else. This is something else. So here's look at her looking like a whole demon. You Ewok. former Dalton Mayor Tiffany Henyard fined $1,000 per day, held in contempt of court. Oh Lord have mercy. What paper? Which paper are we asking for? So they show it right here. The paper she held up during the January 2nd, 24 village board meeting, claiming it was proof the trustees canceled the credit card. That was a false statement to make herself look good. Y'all see this here? Aiken County said, checkmate, heifer. Show the paper. I love it. You gonna hold something up talking about this is proof? The trustees canceled a credit card that you had been abusing, making dumbass purchases on stupid stuff that no one even cares about, like the skating rink. Man, that thing, you know how much money it would take to repair it, to get it operable? Y'all better not go out down that skating rink. You're going to break your ankle. Out on cracks and holes in that skating rink. But they would have to spend money to get it fixed. So you've already cost $1.34 million for that skating rink. You're going to cost them more trying to fix it up. So she's sitting here making dumbass purchases with the credit card. That's in court documents. There's no denying that. But at the end of the day, you gonna hold something up saying they canceled it? Oh, okay, let's see it. Read it, heifer. So Aiken County sued because they want her. They challenged her about it. They're like, oh, okay, you want to sit here and threaten us with a good time? We'll give you one. Why don't you show that paper? We want a copy of that. That's what happened. They called out on it. Oh man, it was epic. Going up in the mountain looking for a fire. Really, exactly. He was a volunteer firefighter. Crazy. Hey, Crystal. Crazy. We keeping up with that story, y'all, about the twins. Today is actually her daughter's birthday. Oh, happy birthday to her daughter. Yeah, we don't have any issues with the babies. She can't help who her dumbass mama is. God. What's going on, Trina Waterbill? How you doing this evening? I'm doing well. She felt untouchable. Exactly. Now she was beyond reproach. The problem is the court is allowing her to disregard the orders. They are. Y'all remember she was charged with direct criminal contempt of court? That should have been addressed. I don't care if she was ordered to do community service for 3 months. I don't care. The average person would have went to jail. I'll tell you that right now. Anyone else would have went to jail. It would not have cost the taxpayers anything to lock her ass up for the weekend. I think most of us would have been, we get 3 days of her being in jail. Okay, we good with that. It ain't costing us any money. That did not cost the taxpayers anything. Her being ordered to do community service would not have cost the taxpayers anything. All what she did would have been volunteer. Nobody can pay you to do community service, girl. How would that have cost the taxpayers more money? That's crazy. So the courts are allowing these things to stall because when she goes there with some attorney filing an appearance, in every hearing, as if she knows all these lawsuits are coming down the pipeline. If you're going to have this slimy, greasy ass Mo Brindley who can't read or tell the truth to save his life, then keep him for all of your cases. You're going to have to get a new attorney for every single lawsuit you have. That's like over 20. We went over it yesterday. Y'all saw it for yourselves on Cook County website, the Circuit Court of Cook County. Over 20. That is between 2021 and 2025. And now they coming down the pipeline back to back. She's having to make court appearances. Why do you need to keep hiring different attorneys? Just get one and stick with them. Then she got served yesterday while in the courtroom. Y'all, it's epic. She got served with a lawsuit. It was Siggy. Siggy got served with the same lawsuit she had already been served with regarding Janetta Hull and the property damage. That was what it was for. It was for Siggy. But he lived there too. They could have just given that woman her house back. As a matter of fact, she should have taken possession of it last year. When she wanted to have their asses evicted, they would have had to go. Nah, y'all getting the hell out my house. You can change the locks and all that. Ooh, that's bold of y'all. I have the whole state police down here. Get the hell out my house. Get my house back now. I would not have allowed them to stay after that. I don't know if she was bullied into that. I don't know what the hell happened. But that, put that in the kitchen, son. Thank you. Talking about son. I would have had them removed. You're not paying rent. Then you want to sit here and bogart my house and change the locks and the garage key code and all this other. Get the hell out. Get off my property. Get off my grass. Get the hell out of here. What are we doing? Ain't no way in the world I would have taken possession of my house and my property back last year. So hopefully now she knows you can't rent your house out to everybody. Don't let everybody come on your property. They're like roaches. They don't want to leave. then they leave property damage and act like they don't want to, own up to it. She want to pretend like she didn't live there at all. Help her, please. You stayed over there. Girl, bye. Bye, Felicia. Oh, Lord have mercy. Oh, man. So, yes, the judge is giving her way too much leeway. Brindley blames chaos for the missing document. Who caused the chaos? Yeah, we all know Super did. Yeah, Brindley is like a theatrical type of person. He goes beyond being overly zealous for a client. He will flat out perpetuate a lie for her on national television. That's how slimy he is. That's beyond being zealous. That's just being a damn liar. Brindley, if you're not going to have a conscience, you need to have your bar license challenged. And I've been saying this. I said this when he went on national TV talking about somebody had a knife in their hand in a melee where everyone saw the videos and no one had a knife in their hand during the melee. So, the fact that he was willing to lie that bad on national television was disgraceful in and of itself. I said then, somebody needs to file a complaint against him with the Illinois State Bar. Why is he practicing law? This is ridiculous. You slimy ass slime ball. Y'all, he had I don't know if that was co-counsel with him, the other dude, or his paralegal, but he looked like Jared Kushner number 2. It was scary. I said, is that Jared Kushner? Oh, scary stuff. Scary stuff. Yeah, we all saw what we saw in these videos in these meetings. She was wreaking havoc, and when she wasn't there, it was a testament and proof that business could be handled. It was quiet. Things went smooth, in the village of Dalton when she wasn't there. So we all know she was a damn headache, and I don't think the opposing counsel would have a hard time proving that with some videos. Y'all know, look at these board meetings here. Here's the differences of her being there and the ones where she wasn't there and how much got done. So we can clearly see she's the one creating the chaos while Brindley wants to sit in here and talk about some nonsense. No one cares about none of this stuff he's talking about. We all know he has the propensity to lie. He lied like hell. All the paper with the same thickness. Exactly. Oh, man. She would have just like a stack of papers that were for her to fling around for effect. Exactly. That's what that Facebook video I'm talking about. She wearing those weird ass loud colors and stuff. Talking about y'all start lying on me if I start telling the truth on y'all. Girl, if you don't speak English. What are you talking about? We don't speak Ewok. You better say some simple words that make sense. Child boo. She's not a public figure, but promoting a book. Exactly. She's still calling herself Superman, y'all. She's still calling herself that. But she wants to go to court talking about, I'm just the face of the village. No, you're not. You're just a nothing. You're a woman who speaks foreign languages of the Ebonics that no one understands. That's now talking about a book tour while you can't hire attorneys to represent you in all these lawsuits coming down upon your head. It makes no sense. She's still calling herself super mayor. How delusional is that? Where's Goon Squad at? Because, you know, they kept running around. She's scared of the mayor. Okay, now she's not. What's the excuse? Why the fuck is she still calling herself super mayor again? But yet they get mad when people like me still talking about her. And I am Jen, not even everybody else is still reporting on her ass. Because we're going to keep doing it. We're going to keep doing it. Kick rocks. But they get mad that she's still calling herself super mayor. That's crazy. Y'all, I told y'all this woman is lost her mind 2 years ago. Super lost her mind in 2023. It's gone. It's gone. She's no longer here with us. She came in there looking pitiful. I'm talking about the unlocked Paul, not super stupid. Yeah, I picked up what you putting down, Tanya. Yeah, I understood. So $1,000 a day contempt charge still in effect. Well, they're supposed to be filing an affidavit, which is a statement under the penalty of perjury. This should be interesting. Saying that she doesn't have the documents, to which she never did. I said that last week. She doesn't have the documents, y'all. I can tell you that right now. She doesn't have them. Because she's infamous for just flinging around paper talking about, oh, this proves my point. This vindicates me. Does it? Does it really? Oh, okay. Can you show that document on camera, please? The fact that she did not do that, if she had a point to prove, is the epitome of I'm just bluffing and lying like hell. The epitome of that, y'all. She never had any documents. She just enjoyed lying like hell. She lies. That's how easy it is for her to lie. That's a pathological liar for you that has lost their mind 2 years ago. That's a narcissist and an Ewok of an alien. She lies like it's breathing air and gets mad when people call her out on it. They still need to have her pay the attorney's fees. Edgar County needs to challenge and say, we want our attorney's fees. Because she could have filed that affidavit last year and not wasted the court's time. And the court should have demanded this last year out of her. You don't have the documents. It's been over a year. So guess what? Either come to court and get deposed to be put on the oath and testify, or the judge is going to permit this affidavit. But say something. She just let this linger until it got to a point where she couldn't ignore it. And once again, a judge had to say, I'm throwing your ass in jail if you don't show up. Like, it makes no sense. That's what's so crazy about this. I hope her legal bills uses up all the money she stole from the village. You know what? Me too. Yeah, because it's just misappropriation of funds somehow goes over the goon squad's head. They don't understand the definition of misappropriation. They don't get it. So here's, y'all. As you can see here in the article, she lied. They knew she was lying. But whatever it was you holding up, that got you in trouble. We requested a paper less than 3 days after the meeting because she said during the meeting that she would provide a copy to the trustees. She never did. And to the public. She never did. Because she lied like hell. It is hard to believe she can't remember or doesn't know which paper we asked for when she made such a spectacle with it during a public meeting and on video. And this is a video. If you guys want to check it out, make sure you go on Illinois Leaks website, EdgarCountyWatchdogs.com. But this is what happens when you sit here and you lie through your teeth about having something to prove some point that you can't prove. It was a classic serving. Over legal bills, yeah, use all the money. The $40,000 alone. I mean, Bo Brinley's slimy as hell anyway. So yeah, I can imagine her paying billable hours that amount to, at the very least, $40,000 for 5 good cases. I don't know who keeps filing these appearances, and when we look at the case activity, you all see a fee being paid. It will say appearance file fee paid. So somebody's paying money every time they make these appearances. But the issue was last week, whoever the attorney was didn't file an order of entry. Or the week before last, my bad. The end of May. They didn't file the order of entry. So it wasn't until he had to file one and actually show up. What, June 2nd, 4th? To where okay, she definitely has an attorney now. Question is, why wasn't this affidavit filed last year once she was served with the lawsuit? She knew she didn't have the paper. You want to perpetuate a dumbass lie that you made up in the top of your head, super. And then get mad when the public demands to see whatever it is you're talking about. Because, believe it or not, we all got sick of you lying on these trustees, talking about you going to tell the truth on them, holding up bundles of paper, and you never show it. She that was her habit. That was her pattern of behavior, and it's sickening. Because it's like, why do you keep doing that? Don't even put that out there if you can't prove it. Girl, if you're going to go all the way there, go there. Otherwise, your scary ass need to shut the hell up. That was my whole point with this. His scary ass don't want to sit here and show the document she holding up, talking about this is evidence. Okay, let's see it. Flip it over. Oh, man. Y'all should see my video I did about that. I did a reaction on that Facebook video. She was like, y'all stop lying on me. And I started calling her Ewok and alien. I said she kicked rocks. She jumped off a bridge 3 times. Just throwing anything out there to see. Yeah, I'm just trying to challenge you to pull up those documents in your hand. I want you to show that on camera. She never did that. She never did it. So, Echo Watch had an article today about the court appearance yesterday. Yeah, that's what we're looking at here. Yep, that's what we're looking at right here. This is it. And it's crazy because it was simple. You held some up. You said a credit card was canceled. They did it. The trustees did it. It's either the hater's fault or the trustees' fault. But whatever. You're going to sit here and blame everybody except yourself. Now you take responsibility, you weird ass Ewok. Look at that. That whole demon coming through. Girl, please. Show the documents. That's it. I want you all to see this. Hence the title of this show tonight. Intentional deception or misrepresentation to the public. Because that's a thing, right? That's the whole thing. You can be sued for this. You can, depending on who it is, you can be charged with this as a criminal offense. Yeah, think you're gonna lie to the FBI if you want to or try to deceive them. Good luck to that. Y'all, this is information I wanted to pull up because I want you all to understand. One of the reasons why they wanted to call her bluff, because she did this all the time. And I brought this information up when I reacted to that Facebook video. And I spoke on this intentional deception and misrepresentation to the public. Because when you're an elected official, and you're sitting here talking about you got documents and evidence and paperwork on something, especially regarding financials. You talking about you're going to do an audit. Where's the audit? We want to see the audited numbers, Thornton Township. Y'all should be making everyone that hits the microphone for the next meeting should be saying, we want to hear discussion about these votes before you make a vote. We appreciate the fact that the meetings aren't chaotic and long and drawn out, but 20, 30 minutes and y'all flying through the agenda and you're talking about ordinances and budgets and money. We need to know, can y'all divulge a little bit? Because it's not always what you say that can be intentionally deceptive or fraudulent misrepresentation. It could be also what's omitted. what's not being said. Because if there's some intent to deceive the public, you're going to have to call it out. And that's exactly what Edgar County did. You held up a piece of paper, super stupid, to deceive the public, to have them think that you had evidence on something regarding financials that is supposed to be disclosed to the public either way. Credit card statements that are being used with public tax dollars to pay those bills is public information that can be released to the public. So if you want to FOIA the village credit card statements, you can. And by federal law, you should be getting copies of that. Because public funding, public tax dollars are being used to pay those credit card bills. So when you're sitting here talking about somebody canceled a credit card, the trustees representing any government entity, that is information that is supposed to be disclosed to the public either way as financial disclosure. You don't have a choice, girl. So her lying about it was just stupid. Super stupid. You keep living up to the name that I gave you. You're living up to the name that I gave you, super stupid. You all see why I call her that. I don't care how anybody feels about me saying super stupid. That's exactly what she is. You're being incredibly stupid. You're sitting here putting that was so unnecessary to hold up papers and talk about, oh, this is proof. If the public wants a copy of this, if they want a copy of it, they can get it. Give it to us now. As a matter of fact, let's pause the meeting. Somebody gonna make copies of that. That's what should have happened. You call them out right then and there on the spot. Oh, you got something that we need to all see because it's public tax dollars being used to pay these credit card bills. Yeah, why don't you pause right now? Give me the paper and we're going to make copies of it and then we'll give it out to the public while we're here in this meeting. I wouldn't have given her 2 or 3 days to come up with, no, hell no, we're going to do it right now. And that goes for anybody else. And even if you guys are asking for information like audits to be done, because Thornton Township said they would do that like, 8 months ago? Okay, so where's the audit? Where's the audit? Everybody that hits that microphone on Tuesday needs to be asking, where's the audit? When is it going to be done? We are asking questions and we're expecting some responses today because we're not going to have this go like it did last time. Because otherwise, them Thornton Township meetings, I'm going to tell y'all personally, I'm going to stop reporting on it because it's going to give me a headache. They can't sit here and give out more information about the financials. If they can't say when an audit is going to be done, it's going to give me a headache. It's going to be annoying. It's going to be very annoying. I'm not even going to want to look at it. Because it's going to be kind of like, okay, we're going down the same path here. Does that make sense? I want y'all to understand. You have the power in your hands. They can only do what you allow them to do. Because they still need your vote at the end of the day to keep them in that position. So when you're talking about some financial disclosures and an audit, that's supposed to be done either way. By law, by local ordinance. It should be no, it should not even be a guessing game. We're going to get back to you on that. No, that's something that should have happened 8 months ago. What are we doing? Napoleon, you want to fly through an agenda? Bro, I'm going to need you to take a pause and breathe a little bit and then explain what's happening in between these votes before you just ask for a vote. Why does somebody's name need to be on the box again? We ain't doing this. Y'all better start saying something. At the end of the day, that's where we are in life. That's the reality of the situation. Be empowered with that. I'm going to fuss either way. Y'all know I'm Lady Luck Club going to fuss. I'm just going to fuss. It is what it is. But whether you voted for him or not, doesn't matter. He's there. And, okay, we need y'all to slow down and explain this stuff before y'all go voting on it. We need to hear discussion. Where are the audited numbers at? Where are those reports? That's financial disclosure. We need a date when we should expect that to be done. Does that make sense? Because what you should not be doing is saying things that can be intentionally deceptive or fraudulently misrepresentation. And there should not be any withholding of information either, because it can still be intentionally deceptive and misleading. And one of the parameters to these, to when it comes to intentional deception, is that you're doing it with the intent to deceive. Even omission, meaning you're leaving stuff out. When there's an intent to deceive, you can easily get charged and sued with it, depending on the parameters of what you're lying about and who you're lying to. So this will not be a good thing for people to just, these elected officials of any sort, to sit here and withhold information from the public. If you're going to sit here and say that somebody is taking out millions of dollars for something, but it's going towards a debt that the city owes, you might want to share all of that information, not give parts of it and omit something out, because it could give the perception that you're intentionally trying to be deceptive. You're trying to misrepresent or mislead people. What's going on, Pamela? How you doing? Y'all, we're going to get some more comments in. I hope you guys are hitting that like button. 82 people watching. I'm fussing. It happens. I appreciate y'all tuning in. I know it's late. It's 11:22. Tanya said that part. Sorry I'm late. What's going on, Angie? How you doing? I'm so late. We'll play catch up. Yeah, make sure you do that. You guys tune in. She has serious mental issues. Super Stupid is just, like I said, she's lost her mind 2 years ago. Even with the affidavit, she still owes the court $100. Yeah, and whatever she's paying for this attorney, because she's no longer the mayor. You've been vehemently rejected and denied. Super Stupid. You got voted out. You're nobody's super anything. You're super stupid, but you're nobody's super mayor. It's so crazy. She lives in a make-believe world. She got rid of him a long time ago. 1,000 for each day since the 31st. Yep. Because I hope that the judge follows through on that and makes her pay at least, the penalty for failing to say something and produce anything, plus attorney's fees, because they've had to pay for an attorney for over a year and a half. And it's still wrong. They should not have even had to sue her on that, because her ass shouldn't be sitting around lying about stuff. And you still want to call yourself super mayor? Girl, please. She's still trying to call herself super mayor. The level of delusion is just beyond this world. Ugh. The judge shouldn't let her skate on this. It needs to be defined at the very least. Exactly. She should be fine. Ordered to pay their attorney fees. Come deal 1,000. Yeah. What's going on, Denise? How you doing? How's it going? She would never be blessed. Listen. The blessing in her not being any super or a mayor or anything at this point, hallelujah. But God has a way of sitting you down, Super Stupid. You talking about you going on a book tour, but you act like you can't afford attorneys? They're not going to give you one in a civil procedure. The court is not going to grant you an attorney in that. So all these federal lawsuits or civil lawsuits, civil procedures in general that you have, now you're going to have to get your own attorney. And you're going to have to pay for it, or you represent yourself. What's going on? Hey, Maureen, Wowie. She should be suing. Hey, everybody, this is your super stupid ex-mayor here. She should be saying, hey, everybody, this is your super stupid ex-mayor. Exactly. Thank you so much. Heck, she has 26 cases. Oh, yeah, we went over just the civil ones, y'all. We didn't even touch on the probates or the ones dealing with the evictions, because that's a separate, different case type. I mean, good grief. So many cases. Thank you so much, Skeeter, for the $2 super sticker. Look at God. What are you doing? Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate the support, man. The supers are a blessing. Y'all, I don't care if it's $1, $2, $3, $45. It's a blessing either way, and I appreciate it. Thank you so much. The FBI is moving slow. I'm having doubts now. Don't have doubts. Let me explain something to you all about the FBI. With this type of case that they're, investigating, most of this is going to be falling under the white collar crime categories with these financial crimes. Sometimes it takes 2 to 3 years for them to do a thorough investigation, because they want to ensure when they file their indictment that they have like a 99% conviction rate. Even if there is a plea deal, being offered, it still needs to include some prison time. I'm going to tell you that right now. And we've seen that. That's why I went over Alex Nitchoff, one of her so-called mentors, who's sitting in prison right now for 5 years. That was on a plea deal. The FBI went for him and they got him on 5 years on a plea deal. Had he not accepted the plea deal, Alex Nitchoff probably would have been sitting in prison for more than 7. So either way, the plea deal still required for him to go to prison. Now, whether the semantics of including, some time off for good behavior, whatever, or early release eligibility, I don't know. But the last time I reported on that, he was just starting a 5-year prison sentence on a plea deal. And he only had 1 count each of 2 charges from the FBI. So don't doubt it. You want them to do that. You want them to have an airtight case to the point where even if there's a plea deal being offered by the AG, that she still goes to prison. And I hope it's for a minimum of 5 years, period. Their parents in prison. I don't want to hear that. Oh, she's a mom. There are a lot of moms in prison. Some of them go there pregnant and give birth. She'll be all right. Little one has a father. She needs to go with her dad. But if that comes down the pipeline, then that's what happens. And you want that to be thorough. Does it make sense? You don't want that to be rushed. That's not all these lawsuits she has. That FBI investigation is not something I want rushed and then it's haphazard and then they can't secure a conviction. I want that conviction secured. So we're going to keep reporting on her until she goes to prison. Because that's something you want done right. And it does take time when it comes to certain types of investigations, because when it's related to financials, they have forensic auditors, they're accountant or financial audit analysts that audit all these documents. They've subpoenaed the Illinois DCEO regarding the youth program with the grant. You guys saw how detailed those FBI subpoenas were and the documentation they were requesting. And if they couldn't provide the documentation, guess what? They have to provide testimony under oath. So either way, they're going to get that evidence out of them. And she can't escape that. We all see when it comes down to it, she's a coward when it comes to the concept of her going to jail. She ain't as tough as she tries to make people seem like she is. Which is why it baffles me why she keep lying like hell on silly stuff. And Siggy ain't no better. He's just as much of a punk as, she is. But he walk around acting like he hard. You're not hard. You don't want to go to prison. They don't even want to go to jail for a weekend on a contempt charge. So you can tell kind of how they maneuver. They push the court to the brink where it's a threat of jail time or come to court. But why does it have to get to that point? Because she's stupid. That's exactly why. She's an idiot. It wasn't even necessary after a year and a half for her to take all this time to tell the court, I don't have this information, because it didn't exist. That was the point of it. That's the point of them suing. Okay, produce this information you claim you have as proof. You're sitting here trying to be in this position of authority. You're an elected official. So either you're trying to intentionally mislead and fraudulently represent information, or you're going to produce the documents. So clearly, this is what it came down to. And y'all see it with your own 2 eyes. It's all within the intent. Fraud involves intentional deception, while misrepresentation may involve innocent or unintentional false statements. All hers were intentional. She was trying to throw people off. She was trying to prove some moot point she didn't have. So we all know what she was trying to do. She was intentionally, fraudulently misrepresenting herself and intentionally deceiving the public on financial disclosures that she didn't have. that can be a bigger issue for her, especially with this FBI investigation. And to plead the fifth, oh, come on. you pleading the fifth because you know you're being investigated. And you can't explain this bullshit, girl. Super stupid. You can't explain it. You cannot explain why you kept lying about having paper with that's evidence on something. You can't explain that because either way, she gonna have to answer to this, y'all. They're gonna ask her about this in the FBI investigation because that's part of fraudulent behavior. So when there's an allegation and they're investigating on fraud, there are various types of frauds. It's about intent. Part of proving fraud is the intent to commit fraud. That's what it comes down to. And when you are in board meetings, being captured in videos, doing Facebook Live videos, because she put herself out there. Didn't nobody force her to do a Facebook Live video. Throw up packs of paper knowing that she didn't have nothing to prove. She chose to do that. She intentionally did that. The FBI is gonna look at that stuff and say, "Now, what were these documents you were holding up again? Didn't you get sued on this? That's a federal lawsuit, by the way. What were you trying to prove?" And then they're gonna put her ass on the oath. They're gonna ask her about it, and she's not gonna be able to answer this because it seems like you did this often and repetitively. There's a pattern of behavior here. It's like 6 meetings where you kept talking about having evidence and I'm going to start dropping receipts. Will you drop the damn receipts and shut the hell up, please? Just hold up. You don't even have to talk in the video. Just hold up the papers to the camera. Let's see what the hell you got. She never did it because it never existed. And she intended to deceive, which is part of fraudulent behavior. That's what this comes down to, y'all. That's what this is about. I'm glad that they filed this lawsuit because it calls out on her bullshit and it gives some insight on what is to come from the FBI. Because it's hard to believe that they do not have some part of this is not involving investigating her on fraud. It would be hard to believe that, especially when there's an intent to deceive and defraud the public with financial disclosures, to say that I have evidence of something showing that they canceled a credit card that is being paid for with tax dollars, with public tax dollars. And here's the evidence here, and here's the paper. And then you don't give a cat. Bye, Felicia. Go sit down. Bye, Felicia. Pauline doesn't even ask for discussion. I know y'all have to make him say that. You gotta make that happen on Tuesday. When y'all have y'all meeting, you're gonna have to say, we want discussion. We want to hear what's going on with these numbers. Y'all stop voting on stuff and we don't know what the hell's happening. Hey Saint, how you doing? Oh man, everybody's speaking to everybody. This is so awesome, y'all. Thank you all so much. Cooking the books, burning stuff behind car washes is weird. Oh man, the judge should have just asked to see the video just for the entertainment of it all. Oh, love helping out. How you doing? What's going on? Thank you so much, Maureen, for the super sticker. Look at God. What are you doing? Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Shout out to you. Thank you so much for that. I told y'all it's a blessing. How's Thornton's meetings going? I've only seen one. It was a headache. I'm just be honest. It was a headache. It was annoying. They did give Stephanie a job though, and I hope they're paying her well because she was a trustee and all. But yeah, it went like 25 minutes. I mean, no discussion of nothing in between those votes, and I was like, oh hell no, this is weird. I don't like none of that. And I'm gonna speak my mind. If I can't say the truth on my platform, what can I tell it? I'm gonna say it here. Yeah. And we all thinking that. I just say it out loud. That's how it is. I heard that all federal plea deals have prison time in it. It depends. It depends on the charges. But, considering what she might be possibly facing, I don't think she would avoid prison time, even with the plea deal. And that's kind of what you want them to aim for. And that's why the case needs to be that airtight. That conviction rate needs to be 99%. Damn near perfection. Because you don't want her to have to come back and say, well, we're going to file an appeal because all these technical errors, or, there's some sort of lack of evidence on something. Or, you don't want that. That's sloppy stuff. You want this to be done right, and you want it to be just slam dunk, practically. That's what you want. So far from what I have read and reported on here regarding FBI indictments related to Super Stupid and her inner circle, Alex Nitchoff is definitely serving 5 years. Of course, Keith Freeman has been indicted. He could easily face a superseding indictment, along with Louis Fathead Pillowtop. So he can be facing a superseding indictment as well, depending on what comes up out of the actual investigations where they were named. Keith Freeman was named in the FBI subpoenas. So with Lacey, I don't recall seeing him in the FBI subpoenas, but you never know. You just never know. But he's facing like 9 charges. So I wouldn't be surprised if somehow a plea deal came down the pipeline and he did not face prison time. And then with Keith Freeman and Lacey Pillowtop, those two could easily catch some charges from the IRS because of the charges that they're facing. Bankruptcy fraud? Yeah, no. Anytime you talking about some money like this and you're not reporting this stuff to the IRS like you should be, they coming for your ass. So whatever the FBI don't get you on, the IRS is gonna pick up the pieces. They got Al Capone and he murdered people. So you ain't gonna be able to really escape that if you think about it. she gonna catch it too. The IRS gonna come and rain upon her head as well. So it's almost kind of like they work in tandem, when it comes to certain financial crimes. Anything where it involves you not reporting something to the IRS, no, they gonna come for you too. They gonna come for you too, and they don't play about that. Whatever's left, they still gonna have an investigatory unit. So I'm telling you, that's just kind of how it goes in a lot of these cases. There's a lot of case law to and precedents to kind of reflect that. But if I foresee whatever plea deal they offer with her, if they make sure they slam dunk this, yeah, I definitely foresee her facing some prison time. I do. I foresee that. That's just my theory. Yep. Sad for the little girl, but Tiffany should not be so greedy. And she has a father. So hopefully if it comes down to it, she goes with her dad. Like I said, there's women prisons. And there's mothers in prison, unfortunately. Their mothers in prison. So she doesn't get a pass because she's a mom. She needs to stop this. She's still doing this stuff. She's still lying about what she is. You're not a super mayor. You're not a mayor. You're implying that you're still a supervisor and mayor. No, you're not. Girl, just go somewhere and read a book. Not write one, read one. Oh Lord. Yeah, she was definitely great. I'm so sorry for deleting messages. I dozed off sleep. Yeah, I didn't know you deleted messages. Tiffany's at the point now in the court. She don't know what's going to happen next. You're going to jail, Super Stupid. Oh yeah, she going to jail. Super Stupid has only one kind of paper. What's going on, Snake? How you doing? That's a cool photo. I like that. One patch. Is that Russell? Who's that? What's that profile picture? Snake Plissken. Oh, okay. She thought her and her crew could shake the books and no one would ever know how much she spent. I didn't work out too well, did it, Tip? Yeah, no, she getting hammered. She got more lawsuits to come, y'all. I pressed the thumbs up and it still says 0. Come on now, y'all better hit the like button. 85 people watching. Hit that like button. Yeah, I have to look this stuff up and read it as well. I'm learning as I go along too. So she burned the ledger books containing the kickbacks owed paid by vendors. No doubt in my mind. Oh yeah. I go back and finish listening on replay. Good night. It's okay. Get some rest. Good night. Love helping out by Felicia. Super stupid, yeah, by Felicia. Yes, really? They should watch Thornton. He may be more sophisticated and super stupid doing the same things. Allegedly, he has the backing of the DNC. I mean, I know I wanted Nate to win. That's pretty much that. That's how I feel about it. I just didn't see enough of Napoleon at all. I mean, you know, you gonna come to meetings and running through agendas? No, bro, no. There's gonna be a headache. It's gonna be a headache to watch. Annoying. Yeah, you got to remember, people had to vote for you to be in this position, Napoleon. I know you're a big, tall football player and all, but you might want to come back down to earth, bro. Don't get too high up there, up that totem pole. You can't stay down here in the reality of what's here on earth, and pay attention to what's going on around you. You can end up as fast as you were put in that position. You can be voted out. So everybody should be on top of it, to where they're saying, nope, you're not gonna do that over here. And even if the trustees are able to do some pushback, I haven't witnessed that in that meeting. There was no pushback from any trustees saying we need to have a discussion. We need to have a discussion. People need to understand what's going on with these numbers, or understand what these ordinances or this resolution is. Let's have a discussion here. And you guys make sure y'all comment on that when you do your public comments. Can you all please have discussions before you go voting on these numbers? Because we're still waiting on an audit. And Lady Luck Club gonna keep fussing about it since we get this. Lady Luck Club already fussing about it. We ain't trying to hear all that. So y'all need to go ahead and at least let's just have some discussion about this stuff before we keep voting on these things. Y'all just fly through this agenda. Nobody understands. I had to look up the ordinance. Last time I went over the meeting, I had to look up an ordinance to figure out what they were talking about was rescinded. I mean, it's insane. They should be able to explain that. That's the purpose of having discussion, right? Y'all make sure that when you go there. Yeah, Lady Luck Club gonna keep fussing. Y'all might want to have some discussion here. Let's talk about this stuff. Yeah, community service won't work. We have seen how she works in the community. No thanks. Oh, you are epic, Maureen. Yeah, that's funny. Oh man, yeah. Anybody else would have went to jail for the weekend. I'm telling y'all right now. Get criminal contempt of court. Oh yeah, anybody else would have went to jail for the weekend. At the very least, I agree, Pamela. Napoleon seems shady, very full of himself. Yeah, he gonna have to do better. He gonna have to do better. Do better, Napoleon. You just got to do better. And if you're not gonna do better, then y'all already know what time it is, right? Then you understand next election. Nah, he gotta go. We ain't doing this. Giving us a headache. All of us got a headache. No. You can't always do things your way when you representing people. You know, and it's not. No one's asking for him to do something wrong. People are asking for him. Let's do this the right way. Just have discussion between these meetings. Tell us when the audit is gonna happen with the numbers. We barely saw you out there. You know, when you were campaigning. We don't know what the hell you was doing. But at the very least, if you're going to be supervisor right now, have discussion in between these votes. And let's talk about these numbers with the general fund and public assistance and the road and bridges. Let's talk about those numbers. And when is this audit going to be completed? Give us a date. Well, ain't none of y'all going to be reelected. That's it. That's how you do that. That's how they go. They already know that. This is nothing new. Ain't no conspiracies on that. If I haven't spoken on it before I came, did Sig get served by the server? Siggy got served at the courthouse. That was, I think Kurt was serving Siggy at the courthouse for the lawsuit involving Janetta Hull and the property damage. Because, you know, you let Super tell it. He was living there, not her, even though she kept saying that they said they together and live together. It's so weird. She tells on herself all the time, and it's just, you know, blurs it out all over social media and videos, and they want to act like she ain't say it. Care, please. Just because you're in alternate reality somewhere with La La Land and your friends does not mean we're all there with you. So this stuff gonna keep coming back to haunt him. Freeman isn't gonna be 100% honest. Now, Keith Freeman is gonna go to jail. He going to prison. I'm telling you right now. I cannot fathom him I don't care how much corporation you have. When he is named in all of those subpoenas, oh my God, the information they want on him about him and his businesses, these so-called LLCs and stuff that he had. Yeah, we've gone over those FBI subpoenas so many times. And I did it for a reason. I even did a couple lawsuits involving him. There's a whole video on my channel about Keith Freeman. For a reason. For a reason. There's always a reason. So he's not going to walk away just clear and free of anything. No. Because the FBI don't care. They don't care about whether, well, he's okay. He's trying. Okay, well, the FBI don't care about that. I'm tell you that right now. They don't care about none of that. They care about what evidence they have to bring forth the charges in an indictment, and to make sure that they land this conviction. That's what they're going to be concerned about, as they should. You get these bad actors out of here. All right, y'all. So we're gonna go to the next, and I think this is the last video I want to do on I'm trying to get all y'all comments in. Oh man, I missed out on so many. Boy, he feeling himself too much. I don't trust about like that. Oh man, we can't prove it be there. Strong evidence they probably did. Yeah. That ledger that Keith McChicken Nugget was carrying to the currency exchange went up in smoke. We still wondering what was in that brief. Hey Laura, how you doing? How goes it? Oh man, that would be the nail that jails her. Yeah. Oh yeah. What's going on, Pamela Thomas? How you doing? Oh man, epic. That's who I want to win. I wanted Nate to win too. There, I said it. Y'all will be all right. I get so many people say, well, he's not ready. I get that. But Napoleon wasn't either if you're going to carry on at this rate. You're a state senator. You can't come and be a supervisor on this level and still carry on like you stuck in state senator mode. It don't work like that as a supervisor of Thornton Township. You're going to have to change that up. You got to be a lot more personable. Listen here. Don't nobody care about you playing football because you don't pay our rent. You ain't paying my bills. So I don't care. None of that has anything to do with me. But when it comes down to the people that live there, the residents, the voters, that you guys could go there and be tactful in your comments and deliberate and intentional. We need to hear discussion between these votes. We need to see the audit. We need to know when that's going to be completed. We want financial disclosures. We want this information. This is not an option. It's information that the public deserves the right to know. The end. It shouldn't even be left as an option. If you ask a question, expect an answer. That's part of your free speech and expression. Just so y'all be empowered with that on Tuesday. Because if it keeps going at that rate, I'm telling you right now, I'm going to stop reporting on Thornton Township meetings because it's just going to be a big ball of mess. It's going to be the same thing over and over again. I can't do that. They give me a headache. I can't do it. There has to be cameras somewhere in that area that caught an area view of that bird. I know, right? Cameras behind the car wash. Oh, Lord. Is everyone behaving? Yeah, they behaving. They doing it. We all good here. Y'all know I handle. Listen, I handle trolls now. Freeman is the blue, black, brown. Tried to make nice in the end. They both need to pay for enabling her. Yeah, they do. And that's part of the accountability that you all can ensure that they have. Waterbill playing nice. Oh, yeah, Waterbill always play nice. Lady Luck Club Soda. Where Lady Luck Club Soda? Did y'all hear say that everyone was jumping ship against her? Oh, yeah, because it's all the haters' fault. Words that she can't define. Or the Goon Squad. None of them can define that word. It's just a trip. They're a trip. All right, let's get to it, y'all. We're gonna check out this video. Ooh, child, it's loud in my ear. This is from who sent me this? This is on the City of Harvey website. You guys make sure you go in there and check it out. City of Harvey. This is they calling it the Alderman Colby crash out. So Foxy sent me this. This is on the Alderman, the City of Harvey website. Foxy sent me this. Said, hey, you might want to check this out. So we're gonna check it out. Y'all let me know if you can hear and see. I'll put a 1 in the chat. If it's too loud, let me know and I'll turn it down a little bit. But it's kind of loud in my ear. I guess it's just my headphones, I guess. But let's check this out and get to it. Okay, she want me to see exactly what happened in slow motion.
Don't touch my stuff. You should know that from the lawsuit.
I don't care. Let's go.
Bitch.
I don't care. Let's go.
Bitch.
Go.
Don't ever put your fucking hands on me.
Let's go. Go.
Don't ever put your fucking hands on me.
Let's go.
Put on to me. At this point, you might push me over. I can't fall. That's not a lady like that. I got a lawyer. Maganya, bitch. That's not a lady like that. That's Maganya, bitch. That's not.
Okay, so let's just start with this. All right, we're gonna play a game if you all be the jury, okay? Because we all know, and in case you don't know, Alderman Chapman announced that she was running for mayor for the city of Harvey up there in Illinois. Little Chris threw a tantrum. He had her removed. He claimed that it was a violation of Robert's Rules of Order. So I want to make sure I have this next tab up so I can show you all. Well, we're going to do this. When it comes to a criminal matter, criminal charges are typically brought forth from a prosecutor. And she was charged with 2 misdemeanors. Those 2 misdemeanor charges were dismissed because of lack of evidence. More than likely, the state would not have been able to meet their burden in a criminal matter, which is beyond a reasonable doubt. Right? Y'all follow me here. I want y'all to follow me here. What's going on, Patricia? How you doing? So, on yesterday, was it yesterday? What's the day? Saturday? Yesterday? Or Thursday? So, she was charged with a felony, aggravated battery of a police officer on Thursday. Was it Thursday? From the incident that occurred April 28th. This is April 28th. This is not recent. So she was taken out. She was arrested, charged with 2 misdemeanors on April 28th. Those 2 charges were dismissed because there was not sufficient evidence to support the charges. That's typically what happens when the state knows we just don't have enough evidence to pursue this in court. We're not going to go through on it. We won't be able to meet our burden. This is going to give us a headache. It's a vile waste of tax dollars. The end. We're going to dismiss the charges. So far, from my understanding, she has been arrested now 4 times. Is this arrest number 5 or what? Or was this arrest number 4? It's my understanding she's been arrested 4 times, at least. And each time it led to the charges being dismissed. So why does this keep happening? God knows. This time around, it's a felony. A felony. Aggravated battery against a police officer. As you all can see, like I said, the burden of proof now in a criminal matter is beyond a reasonable doubt. So I want you all to look at this again, what I just saw here, and tell me who made initial contact. Like first contact on a body. Did she make the initial contact or did he touch her first? Look at that, slow down. Initial contact. You see him touch her back first, and then her was reactionary.
Don't touch my stuff. You should know that from the lawsuit.
And honestly, that includes her personal property, being that laptop. He did not have, it was not reasonable. He didn't have the authority or the right to touch her laptop. Why would he need to do that? So let's say this goes to trial. It is the defense's job to invoke reasonable doubt into this case. More than likely, if it does go to trial, it's going to be a jury trial. Jury is a 12-member panel of your peers. And what's considered excessive force, I want you all to see this. Excessive force refers to situations where government officials, particularly law enforcement officers, use force that exceeds what is reasonably necessary. So keep that in mind as we're watching this, because I'm going to ask a series of questions. This is just kind of my theory and my breakdown on this. What is reasonably necessary? When you're talking about aggravated battery or aggravated assault, they look at what's called the primary aggressor. Who was the primary aggressor in this situation? Who made first contact, right? That's what they have to consider. Who's the primary aggressor? You're talking about battery. That means someone put their hands on somebody. It was some physical contact. Who made the initial contact? And then ask, was it reasonably necessary? Was it necessary? Was it warranted for the police officer to touch her laptop and then to touch her person on her back? Because the compliance of her getting up and leaving was occurring. We're seeing that. Whether it was fast enough is irrelevant. It's a moot point. Was she being compliant? She's packing her stuff up. She's leaving out. This is at a point after little Chris got a little tantrum because he's a diva and he wanted her to be removed. He had the authority to tell the police officers, listen, I don't need 5 or 6 of y'all in here. I just need her to leave. Maybe she goes out in the hallway, calms down for 5 minutes, and then she can come back. So that I can bring back order to the meeting. If he wants to sit here and say that this was a violation on the Roberts Rules of Order, was it reasonable to have her arrested if that be the case? If you're talking about a violation of Robert Rules of Order, because what it cannot do is supersede her First Amendment rights. And if she wants to give dissent and express her, expression, free speech, even if it's a dissent, meaning I'm disagreeing with what you're saying. Here's why I'm saying this, and it's not going to be along the lines of what you want. She still had the right to do that as an alderman. She's representing the people. She's challenging him on whatever they were discussing. I don't even need to see it because it's irrelevant. Because it's all about what happened in this moment when it came down to initial contact and someone being the primary aggressor. If they gave her order to get up and get her stuff and to leave out, she wasn't sitting there just ignoring them and like a sphinx. She was moving and actually packing her things. Was it reasonable for the police to grab her laptop? Was it reasonable for the police to put his hand on her and make that initial contact? Because that's what I just saw.
I don't care. Let's go. I don't care.
Her saying the B word is irrelevant.
Go.
Don't ever put your fucking hands on me.
Let's go. Go.
Don't ever put your fucking hands on me.
Let's go.
She's leaving.
At this point, you might push me over. I may fall. That's not a lady like that. I got a lawyer. But God,
Doesn't matter. It's not illegal. We went over this. I've done a video on the B word. Is it illegal? If we're going to call it free speech in one scenario, we're going to call it free speech in every scenario until I see something where, and it's a case-by-case basis with free speech. We have to make sure we're not towing the line and just violating free speech because you don't see something as ladylike. Is it tasteful? No. But is it illegal? No. Profanity, believe it or not, is protected free speech. Otherwise, she's not inciting a riot or anything. She's already handcuffed. No more damage she can do. So her use of profanity in this moment is not illegal.
Bitch. That's not the lady like that. That was Magayan. Bitch. That's not
Hey, Ryan. Shout out to Ryan. What's going on, man? How you doing? How you doing? Thank you for tuning in. That's right. He touched her. He touched her. He made initial contact. He touched her personal property as well. Was it reasonable? Was it necessary? It didn't aid. It wasn't like she was not being compliant. So it didn't aid or facilitate in her being compliant. She was already being compliant. See, when you go to court, it's not like doing a video on your YouTube channel in court, especially on a felony in a criminal matter. So you can't go in there playing no games with it. They're going to break down and be overly technical. Y'all think I'm being nitpicky? That's how it works in court. They're going to look at this and they're going to break down every single movement because the criminal defense's job, her attorney job, is going to be to show the jury here's reasonable doubt in this. They're alleging that there's some aggravated battery upon a police officer. But let's look at who was the actual primary aggressor. Who made the initial contact? Can we say that she was trying to actually batter him? What if that was just an involuntary reflex? Wouldn't that be reasonably expected if someone puts their hands on you? You're a female and you got this big ass man standing over you. You're already being compliant. Just because they don't like that you're not going fast enough is irrelevant. It's a moot point. She's still being compliant. But he makes this contact on her unnecessarily. That was unreasonable. It was unwarranted. And anybody's initial reaction is going to be, get your hands off me. See, then now you're talking about you inferring some doubt into the situation because her response and reaction to that, it's like a reflex, is natural. Question would be, why would he need to put his hand on her first if she's being compliant? Y'all understand what I'm saying? It's not, this isn't to say that there wasn't a violation of Robert Rules of Order. The charge is a felony of aggravated battery on a police officer, not a violation of Robert's Rules of Order. She would have left out on her own. This was unnecessary. She was being compliant and packing up. Little Chris, sitting here in full diva mode. Yeah, make sure you give Ryan channel, Ryan's Gate Chicago. Check out his channel, you guys. If somebody could please drop the link to his YouTube channel in the comments, in the chat, I would appreciate that. Absolutely, my older woman did nothing wrong. I'm not saying it. We're playing a game of be the jury here, right? You have to the defense, the prosecutor would have to prove beyond a reasonable doubt. This is being a criminal matter. It's a felony now. We're beyond the point of anybody apologizing because that's almost too close to admitting some level of guilt. She should not do that. As a matter of fact, what she said yesterday was saying too much. To be honest, that's my opinion on that. She didn't even have to say half of that. What she said, I'm denying the charge at hand. I think it's absurd. My attorney's here to speak on it further. I will be proving my innocence in court. The end. And that's it. And then he gives his speech, and that's it. And they continue to deny the charge because all this evidence between this video and all the witnesses that were there, it's going to be evidence in court. Testimony is evidence. So all the people that were there could easily be witnesses for the defense. Some might be witnesses for the state if it goes to trial. But some people will come there and be witnesses for the defense. And they're going to testify to what they saw and heard. And the jury is going to have to sit there and listen to this and take all this information in, all this evidence in. And we have to determine what is reasonable. What would be reasonably necessary in this situation? That's what we have to consider here. I pulled up the definition of it because If I prove a point, I'm coming in epic fashion. The only way I know how to do it, y'all. Thank you for tuning in. Y'all hit that like button. I know it's late. It's 12 midnight. We're going into an hour, 35 minutes. Thank you so much for tuning in, Ryan. Y'all make sure you all check out his content. Anybody else have a YouTube channel here? Please put the links to your YouTube channels in the chat. It's good conversation. Over policing. I know that's right. It's just so ridiculous. I don't know how many times he's going to keep having her arrested, but it's crazy. I said exactly. That's what I said, LLC. They were not rushing her. They were rushing her, intimidating her. She was not resisting. She wasn't. She was compliant. You see her moving along. She was compliant. She was packing her things. Thank you so much, Kandi. I appreciate that. And she was leaving. There's no reason to sit here and do all it. Like, what's reasonable now? What's reasonably necessary, right? So let's continue on with the video because it's only like 4 minutes. Look at that. This big ass man. When he put his hand on her, she did a reflex.
Don't touch my
Put your hand on me.
You know that from the lawsuit.
I don't care. Let's go.
Bitch.
I don't care. Let's go.
Bitch.
Go.
Don't ever put your fucking hands on
He keep putting his hands on her.
Go.
How is that necessary? So his little ego and pride is hurt. Why does he keep touching her though? How is it necessary? She's leaving. How is this reasonably necessary? Y'all understand where I'm coming from now? Because I want you all to be able to understand this and see why I went off the way I did the other day. This isn't a matter of somebody having a difference of opinion here. This is going to be a matter of how is this going to be, how is the prosecutor going to present this case? And then the reasonable doubt that can be inferred by the defense. This is a felony charge here. This is not a joke. They pass the point of apologies because she say anything along the line of "I'm sorry, I had my wrongdoing," whatever. It infers automatically some guilt in that. And at this point, no, she does not need to do that. And I'm sure her attorney told her, "Oh hell no, don't admit to none of this crap, because this is insanity."
Your fucking hands on me.
Let's go.
Holding on to me. At this point, you might push me over. I may fall.
That's not a lady like
I got a lawyer. Magayan, bitch. That's not a lady like that. That's what Magayan, bitch.
I'm not worried about that. I'll tell you that right now. That manhandling is ridiculous. Unnecessary. You got two male officers here. I'm seeing one here in the blue with the vest and one with the white with the black tie because I'm looking at a badge there. So you have at least two officers stand right behind her, and then there's one over here on the side. Correct me if I'm wrong here. I'm seeing three so far.
Don't touch my stuff. You should know that from the lawsuit.
I don't care. Let's go.
Bitch.
I don't care.
Exactly.
Let's go.
Bitch.
Go.
Don't ever put your fucking hands on me.
Let's go. Go.
That's right.
Don't ever put your fucking hands on me.
Let's go.
Holding on to me. At this point, you might push me over. I may fall.
Now look at this.
That's not a lady like
The mother is also
bitch.
the mother is also in cuffs. You cannot expect her to not be upset. And even if they try to come from the angle of where her character is on display. Yeah, so is little Chris, because we've all witnessed him have an entire room cleared because of clapping, violating people's free speech and expression. Supreme Court rulings that have already stated and affirmed that clapping is a form of expression of free speech under the First Amendment of the United States Constitution, to which he studied in law school. And there's a pattern of behavior that could be said about little Chris too. His character and credibility will be questioned. So here's my thing. Let's go back to this. This is the officer alleging.
At this point, you might push me over. I may fall.
Magana. This is the one that's saying that he was, allegedly he was battered, right? So here's my question to you all. Why didn't that officer file a complaint on April 28th if he is the actual victim allegedly in this matter? Why wasn't the charge of aggravated battery of a police officer included in the 2 misdemeanor charges going back to April 28th? If the prosecutor, and I'm asking these questions because these are questions that's going to be asked by her attorney in court if it goes to trial. I honestly expect this to be dismissed as well because it's so stupid. But let's just say it goes to trial. Why would this police officer not ensure a complaint was filed if he truly was battered? Aggravated battery? Why did he file a complaint and ensure that that charge was included on April 28th when she was charged with the 2 misdemeanor charges? We're talking about a felony charge. Felony on a criminal matter. That you understand what I'm saying? Because there's no way, if someone's being battered, there's no way it's going to go unnoticed. Let's get some comments in. Center, that seems to be headed in that direction. You said that it was a setup. I don't know what was the setup? He's been allowed to do this and get away with it. Yeah, I mean, because we've seen it in videos. God. So besides the video evidence, you have witnesses of the people who have gone to these meetings and have been victims of him violating and infringing upon their First Amendment rights because of clapping. That's so egregious, it's not even funny. That cannot be overlooked. You're talking about a violation of federal law. In a matter to where you're talking about aggravated battery of a police officer. Why didn't that police officer file a complaint on April 28th? Did he file a complaint even internally with the police department against her? Why is this the first time we're hearing about this? I'm going to tell you all right now. The fact that she is now running for mayor, I wouldn't even allow that to be a point to defend in court. And here's why. It's a moot point. Whether Lil Chris knew or not, at the time she was allegedly charged with the felony on yesterday or Thursday. It was Thursday. At the time she was charged with it, whether he knew or not was irrelevant. Because you still need evidence to support the charge itself. And the prosecutor's office had not even submitted the charge over. There was no warrant for her arrest. And you're talking about from an incident from April 28th, where the same police officer, I highly doubt, filed a complaint against her on April 28th for that. And then the 2 charges that she did have filed against her were dismissed. It's so crazy. And then the defense would be, how do we know he truly did not know? Why does anyone owe Lil Chris any level of credibility at this point? No one has to take his word for anything. Just because he says, well, I didn't know she was running for mayor when the charges were dropped. Moot point. We don't care if you knew or not. What we care about is this is a charge that could have been filed on April 28th, but it wasn't. From the actual officer that claims that they were battered. How was there any injury to Lil Chris? If he truly wanted to be the bigger person in this, which he's not, but if he wanted to, he could have told the officers, y'all lay off. Don't handle her like that. She's still a lady. Don't do this. Right? She walked away with injuries and bruises. She has photos. Was it reasonably necessary to handle her that way? That's going to be what is asked in court in trial. They're not going to care about, well, yeah, he can do it in his opening argument because he made a statement on it, her attorney, about the political opponent. Clearly, he's doing this because if she's convicted under the Constitution of the state of Illinois, she would be ineligible to run for any elected official position. I pulled up the state law on Thursday. Y'all are welcome. I pulled that up because I already knew what was going, what that direction is headed towards. If she gets convicted on a felony charge, she would be ineligible. So the idea of, well, I didn't know that she was running for mayor when she was charged is a moot point. Because either way, the defense attorney is going to say, Your Honor, my client won't be eligible if she's convicted of a felony either way. It's the fact that he's sitting back allowing her to be arrested now on a felony charge because of some violation of a Robert Rules of Order from an incident that occurred April 28th. And it was not even included in those lists of charges, nor did the police officer file a complaint. There's no lawsuit against her. The police officer that claims to be battered did nothing. They did nothing. So how serious are we to take this? It can be inferred, and the perception of this seems as if Luke Chris is doing this because he's trying to taint her ability to run and to be a credible opponent in the mayoral election. She stated she wants to run for mayor. Who is he to say that he should not have an opponent? If he has a platform and something to say and he's doing things the right way, then he should not be in fear of losing his position. But this is how he chooses to handle it. This is how he handles dissent. This is how he handles someone giving pushback and challenging him in these meetings. This is my client's 4th time being arrested. That's going to be his argument. And what we're seeing here is not reasonably necessary. How can they claim that they were battered when he was the one that initiated the contact? That's what happened. This is what's going to play out in court if this dumb charge goes to trial. Yeah, this is what's so crazy. And this is how the jury is going to see it. Because I can guarantee you it's going to be a jury trial. They're not going to just do a bench trial on this. I wouldn't trust it. Hopefully they get a fair and impartial judge because this is ridiculous. What's going on, Minion? Oh my God. I saw your live stream earlier, Minion. Very good show. I'm so proud. What's happening? All right, let's get some comments in. Let me go up. I'm missing some more. I'm missing a whole lot of stuff. Woo, child. Is still living in the ATL. No, we do not need her in Georgia. She can keep her little black ass up there. She's all yours, the state of Illinois. No. She had to go back to court. Return to sender. You ain't got to come back down here. Don't come down here with that nonsense. We already trying to get rid of Fanny. Hell no. Keep her up there. She got a lot more court appearances to show up for. Right, feel free to jump in with facts. Yeah, like I said, guys, correct me if I'm wrong on the factual basis here. And I'm looking at I'm looking at this video and I see what I'm seeing here. 95 people watching. You all make sure you hit the like button. I cannot fathom this getting any further in as far as through the court past a probable cause hearing. Hopefully her attorney files a motion for that because it'll force the state, the prosecutors, to present some level of evidence to kind of show that the charge is warranted. Even with this video, there's enough doubt that can be inflicted in this. And just the fact that this was not charged back on April 28th, the police officer didn't file any lawsuits or complaints against her. So what the hell he crying about now? And he's the one that initiated the contact. Is this for real? Good Lord. She wants to run for mayor. Look, Chris will be all right. He'll live. No one cares about him and his tantrum. Child, please. You throwing a tantrum, child. Anybody got time for you being on diva mode level 1000, little Chris and Harvey? We don't care about you being a diva. He's so weird. Once I pissy Chris had Ryan unjustly removed from a board meeting and I was done. Yeah, we've all seen those videos on that. He is called Ryan. He called you a what did he say about you? He called you a molester, abuser of some sort of children. I mean, he said things that could be defamatory. that puts people's lives and safety in danger. You realize that if you call someone that there gonna be some people that might get upset and want to do something about it. So look, Chris inciting people and fear mongering to be angry at a resident, all because that resident showed some dissent and spoke out, which he has every right to do. You're a public citizen. You have freedom of speech. And he doesn't like that because he wants to be a dictator, diva unto himself. No one gives a damn about his diva mode attitude. Child, please. What is reasonably necessary in this? All of this was unreasonable. She was compliant. Then they got a mother. Lord have mercy. They got a mother in handcuffs. Her mother is in handcuffs.
I got a lawyer. Magayan, bitch. That's not the lady like that. That what Magayan.
I hate when people do that. Don't tell me not to say what I want to say. Hey, lady, like I understand your feelings on that, but I'm very upset. I'm in cuffs. I'm in cuffs, lady. You're not the one in cuffs. My mother is in cuffs. Nope. I think I'm permitted to cuss. That would be my response on that. I'm tired. That's it. Yeah. No, I don't. To me in my mind, I was like, don't sit here and keep me from being upset. I'm in cuffs. I'm in handcuffs. She went to jail, didn't she? Did she go to jail? Did her mother go to jail? Did I miss something? Y'all let me know. Did her mother go to jail? Patricia, I heard she opened a couple of bank accounts in ATL. Child, the Super Zoo, get your money out of our state. We don't need none of that bullshit here. Get your money, get your accounts, get the hell out of our state. Leave Georgia. Leave us alone. We ain't got time. At least take Fannie Willis with you. Child boo. Illinois, y'all want Fannie Willis? We sick of it. We're sick of her. Did I miss anything? Is Robert Hunt still there? Oh, Lord. I heard he is still. He ain't been fired yet. I don't know why. I mean, he can't explain a number on those reports. That's what's so irritating. Stephanie should have been the director of finance. That's how I feel about that then. No one cares about Robert Hunt Jr. got it coming. He really does. Lauren said allegedly. I saw that. Ronnie said, yeah, Clark had me arrested too. The cops roughed me up. I saw your I think Minion showed your video on you being arrested as well. He's just having people locked up left and right. So while listen, when it comes to laying the foundation of credibility and character here, just as much as I'm sure he's going to try to paint this about the Alderwoman, they can also paint that on him. Your Honor, he has innocent residents who speak out against him arrested on the dumbest stuff while fear-mongering and inciting people to believe some defamatory slander about someone being an abuser. So he wants to sit here and go toe for toe. We can do this. We can do this all day. Because the jury would be very interested in seeing videos of Lil Chris having regular voting residents that are voters, tax-paying voters, or whether you pay taxes or not, you still vote, whatever. You have the right to go in and speak your mind against an elected official. And people are being arrested for clapping and for showing dissent and being critical of this weird-ass elected official that's on diva mode. While he sits and withholds information, trying to be intentionally or fraudulently misrepresentative of the facts and evidence and financial disclosures. Intentionally. We went over that earlier in the video. Same reason why Super Stupid was sued. You want to hold up papers talking about you got proof on something? Oh, okay, player. Okay, player. We see you coming. Give us a copy of whatever that is you got in your hand. And she couldn't produce it because it wasn't real. It was a figment of her imagination. But she did it intentionally to be deceptive. It's fraudulent misrepresentation. Lil Chris doing the same thing with facts. Like somehow facts are supposed to be altered for everybody on the planet. Like we all can't see with our own two eyes what's happening in these meetings in videos that are making national headlines. This is ridiculous. He wants all of us to tap into this alternate reality with him. And we're all saying, hell no, kiss our ass. We're not doing it. We're not doing it. It's so crazy. Everybody getting arrested for something stupid. But he has a pattern of behavior of doing that And he went to law school. So he's trying to weaponize the law and law enforcement for this old nonsense because he's a diva. Keep throwing your tantrum in the corner in the hole in the wall. Little Chris. Little Tootsie Roll for size idiot. That is, he's so weird. I can't stand his ass. Good Lord. See, he should do a segment on the Harvey Mayer, and you can title it Everybody's 48 Hours Chris. Everybody hates Chris. Everybody hates Chris. Yep. That's a good one. I thought it was a 4. My bad. Everybody hates Chris. Oh, man, that was a good epic. Million. Y'all make sure you can please drop Million's YouTube channel link in the chat. What's going on? I got all the heavy hitters up in here. Thank you all for tuning in. What's going on? I saw Million's live show earlier. Oh, yeah. You and Foxy, and I said what I said. Man, you guys had a great show. There you go. You had a great show, man. And we got to all listen. I've said this heavily in the last good 2 weeks or so. Y'all, people are going to report on what they want to report on. They're going to have the freedom to say what they feel. You shouldn't have to worry about a cyber mob or some bullies or anybody coming after you to sit here and to keep you from speaking your mind. We won't always agree, right? That's the beauty of it all. God didn't create us all to be the same and to think alike. We have our own thoughts, and we're going to express it. We're going to say what we want to say, and that's it. You got to have some thick skin to be on YouTube. Taking out it right now. I've been there almost 4 years, and I got 2 channels. When I have to defend myself, I do. And part of my defense isn't always verbal. If I don't take someone seriously, though, I clown them out. I'll do a whole segment on clowning somebody out. I'm epic for that. But I still can't stop someone for saying whatever they say about me. It's going to be done. People going to say what they want to say. But nobody should be hindering free speech. Nobody should be sitting here trying to stop people from speaking their mind. You shouldn't have to be afraid of that. Here in the Lady Luck Club, we have free will here. And I'm glad that all 26,600 supporters of mine are able to come here in my show, on my platform, and we speak our mind, we have adult conversations. And even if something says somebody don't like, imagine all the things that's been said about us that others won't like, that we might not like. But I don't stop people from saying it. I don't stop anybody from supporting anyone else. I don't stop anybody from exercising their free press. Report on and publish what you want. That's the freedom we all enjoy here. If you're reporting on facts and you're giving your commentary and opinion, you have the right to express that. No one should be stopping that from happening. If you give a response, I get called out. That happens. Then I respond back when I need to. Especially if it's get to a point where I have to respond now. But it is what it is. So we welcome that free speech here. We welcome the ability to speak your mind. And we're all able to do it freely and respectively. And I'm not gonna stop someone from saying something because, you're saying something about somebody, we don't want you to say anything negative about. Well, you got to get over it because that's part of life. It is what it is. It is what it is on that. So y'all continue, content creators out there, you continue to speak your mind. Ain't nothing wrong with that. We're not gonna like everybody. You know how many people can't stand my guts? They'll be all right. Jesus love you too. I don't care. I don't care. It is what it is. I'm not for everybody. People say I laugh too much. I'm not gonna stop laughing because I'm happy. I don't have any reason to be angry. When I'm upset, y'all know it. When something frustrates me or something's made me mad, like it makes me mad. The idea of somebody that claims to be a cop showing up at somebody's house talking about we finna take you with us. No, you not. You ain't finna abduct me and take me nowhere. How about you go to court and get a warrant for my arrest and come back? Goodbye. And slam the door in their face and keep living. So, that made me mad. Because I can imagine what could have happened to this person. That will not be belittled. It will not be overlooked. It will not be put in the shadows. We're not going to ignore something like that. That's very serious. If it's the aspect or the thought of someone impersonating a police officer, we're not going to overlook that. Are you kidding? That is very serious, and it's also felony. God, be a chargeable offense as a felony, especially if they're wearing gear, where the average person, reasonable person, would look at this person to say this is a police officer and not know the difference. Because that's what it comes down to. And if you want to fact check me on that, please Google it. Impersonation of a police officer. You wearing paraphernalia? You got a weapon on you? Oh, hell no. And you claiming to be a police officer, you're not? Oh, get the hell out of my property. The sad part is, would they have been able to call the police and actually have that situation addressed when the police is in on this shit? That's what's so sad about that. And who the hell do you go to when something like that's going on? This is how people get hurt, come up missing. So a reasonable person would be mad about that. I think we can all agree to that. That would be horrible. Somebody impersonated a police officer. Somebody, I'm here to arrest you. Yeah, you don't get out. What a joke. Bye. Get the hell out of here. That should be addressed. That's a problem. And that's going to come up in that case. If this goes to trial, that's going to come up as part of the defense. What about these two thunkheads showing up at my door? One of them talking about they're somebody's officer that they're not. They're not the real person. Come on now. All right, y'all. Let's get some more comments in. Hey, Ryan, million speaking to everybody. Y'all, thank you so much for tuning in. We're coming to a close. We're gonna end this on a laughing note. That's how we do here in the Lady Luck Club, because you gotta laugh at the end of the day. Oh, Lord have mercy. Clark is a bully and immature crew person. He is. He's an idiot. Yes, he called. Oh wow, yeah, he called. Oh wow. Yeah, that's horrible. God, your pet. That stuff like that can get people hurt. And he knows it. He knows it. Look, Chris, you are the worst. You know, calling someone that can get this man hurt. Why? What would be the purpose of? See, this is the level of maturity in his mindset too. That's so immature. It's so stupid. But you know that this could cause him to be put into some level of danger and get some horrible backlash from that. All because it's coming from somebody that's supposed to be in a mayoral position, throwing a diva tantrum. Little Chris of Harvey, you can kick rocks and kiss all our asses. Get on somewhere. You ain't fooling everybody. He sure did. That's so sad, man. That's crazy. They both went to jail, yes. The mother went to jail too. Lord have mercy. My God. When is her case? Did her charges get dismissed? He sent her mother to jail. What the fuck is going on? All the meanwhile, little Chris could have just told the cops, please don't arrest these women. I just want them to calm down. He could have stopped this. At any given time, he could have calmed down the situation and they would have listened to him. I'm back, had to take my dog outside. I know we listen. Doggy walk is our families too. You got to take care of your pet. Mine has been chasing the deer. I would cuss like a sailor. I would have forgot my status. Exactly. You can't blame her for being upset, and her mother went to jail as well. Over what? Hey, Artis, how you doing? What's going on? I haven't forgot about you either. Hope everything's okay. What's happening, y'all? Yeah, we up late, y'all. Oh man, why was the meeting canceled? You know what? That's a good question. Why was it canceled? Y'all, they canceled the meeting the day that she went down there. I would not have turned myself in. That's one thing I would not have done. What am I turning myself in on? Y'all got an arrest warrant? You want me to come down here and surrender myself is what you're asking me to do. Let's be honest. Ain't nothing to turn myself in on yet. The charges hadn't even been entered in the system. I'm literally looking it up while I was in Vivian's live stream, just looking up the charge, trying to find it. Couldn't find it. Come to find out, it was not even in the system. When she went down, when Colby Chapman went to the city hall where the meeting took place, and the attorney was there with her. The client's here to turn herself in. I don't know how. There was a reason why they didn't arrest her. They couldn't. At the time, they didn't have a warrant for her arrest. You can't just snatch people out of their house unless they're in the act of the incident itself, the alleged incident itself, like the day that she got arrested after being manhandled. You know, that's a fresh arrest. But you talking about something well over a month later? What the hell? Who knew that she would be hit with a felony charge the same day the 2 misdemeanor charges would be dismissed? Who knew? That punk ass cop want to see her talk about, oh, it's a battery on me. Why didn't you say this April 28th? Did you file a complaint? Did you file a charge? What the hell? Yeah, it's so insane. So I'm sure they canceled it because, you know, yet again, reasons. Nothing's getting done there. He's not passing anything. He's not approving budgets. You know, from my understanding, you guys can't even get, you know, validated financials out of them. So, you know, it's insane. Nothing's being done. Clark is delusional, narcissistic. You know, we seeing this between Walnut Head Neely, super stupid. Now you got little Chris. they all just acting up. So y'all gotta vote them out. Bottom line, they gotta go. Little Chris, you gotta get over it. People gonna run against you. Don't nobody care about you throwing a tantrum. Don't nobody care about you being mad. I don't like opponents. So what? We don't like the fact that you're infringing upon First Amendment rights either. They ain't stopping you from doing that. So no one cares if she runs against you. Hopefully she wins. I pretty much kind of speak that in. Because he's got to go. You sitting here having people explain that. You know, if you go off for defense up for this or try to sit here and it makes no sense to me. Explain arresting people for clapping or having someone arrested because you didn't like what they said, and then you calling you basically defaming this person. That's slander because it's a provable false statement. You learned this in law school, little Chris. Provable false statement is defamation, slander. Why say that? That's the question. And if the intent is to say it, knowing that this person could suffer some severe repercussions, now you're really showing your ass because you show you don't care about what happens to this individual because you've called them something that you know most people are going to get upset about, especially when it comes to kids. Are you kidding me? That's not a joke. So, you know, it's just so immature and disgusting and deplorable. So if they, you know, try to attack her character, they're going to attack his right back. The defense is going to hammer in it. Ooh, Lord. They're going to lay a foundation. The prosecutor is going to have a field day trying to sit here and meet this burden. It's going to be ridiculous if they take this to trial. And I'm sure all of you all are going to go down there and testify against them because this is out of control. It's out of control. And the only way to seem to stop him is to have his ass voted out. No one owes him a vote. No one owes him anything. No one owes him an apology or an explanation. No one owes him shit. He's a grown-ass man. This is not a matter of meeting at the middle of the table at this point. This is a felony charge. This woman's mother was arrested. Yeah, this is insanity. Insanity. If I remember, Christy is a lawyer. Yeah, he went to law school. He's not practicing as an attorney. He's not practicing law. I was on Mr. CKB's live stream earlier today. And he was the one that taught me the difference between an attorney and a lawyer. So, I'm still learning. I still research and read information. I don't know it all. I'm not at a point in life where I feel like I've arrived and I know everything. No, I Google and pull stuff up just like you all are saying about excessive force. Because I want you all to understand what I'm reading and seeing, you guys get to read and see as well. And you get to understand why I'm giving the commentary I give. Because I want you all to see the facts for yourself. And in the possibility of the reasonable doubt that can be invoked in this case. You can't sit here talking about battery if you put your hands on someone and their personal property first, and you're the aggressor. That's so crazy. It's a Lord. Yeah. Oh Lord, the grown ass men being big ass babies. It's laughable. Oh, million is the truth. I hear you. I hear you. You're welcome. Clark is a lawyer, but not a good one. Yeah, he's just a liar at this point. As it's tomorrow night, Vivian is joining LLC Live. Yes, Vivian will be on tomorrow. We're gonna try to do a little early live. I have to reach out to her and set up the time, but we definitely doing it tomorrow. Speaking the truth, listen, y'all spoke the truth on your show, man, and all I can do is speak the truth. I try my best to make sure that you guys have a mixture of just some knowledge and facts, and I give my commentary, and it is what it is. I don't expect everybody to agree with my opinion, but it is what it is. He should know the laws. You know what's so crazy? Lord, he went to law school and he's weaponizing the laws while being unlawful. You know it's unlawful to infringe upon somebody's First Amendment rights. When you think that you have the right to infringe upon others' rights, you don't care about laws at that point. You've shown that you don't give a damn about a law when you're willing to infringe upon the rights of others. The law is not one-sided. It does not bend to your will, little Chris. It's not how the hell it works. Super Stupid is learning the hard way now. I mean, you could take a point or two from her, but you're not smart enough to do that. So, ugh. I caught a glimpse of the meeting. We get some comments in, y'all. Thank you all for tuning in. 2 hours and 12 minutes. You guys make sure you hit the like button. I want you all to share this. We have good discussion here. I do feel like we are more of a force when we are united. Even if we disagree, we shouldn't be fighting each other. Amen to that. Amen to that. We can all listen. You know what's so good about being all of us being unique and creative? We can literally all report on Harvey and come at it from a different angle. You can have 10 people reporting on Harvey and little Chris, and every one of us have our own way of doing it. And we're all coming from different angles because we're not all alike. I'm not forcing anyone to follow everything I say and do. You don't have to get behind me, get beside me. So if we don't agree, we just don't agree. But we respect each other in the process. That's how that works. And look, Chris don't give a damn about none of that. You're having people jailed. He's taking away people's liberty and freedom. Her mother went to jail. Come on now. Yes, Clark does know the law. Yeah, he's weaponizing. Being mad at someone, laughing is nuts. Find some happiness in your life. Exactly. You can't listen. It's only so angry and you can be. We watch some funny content, comedic relief. We have that here for a reason. Because I don't want anybody just ending it with just no, we end it when we can. Unless I'm just going in and I'm proving a point and that's it. But we always try to end it on some laughter, y'all. And I don't give a damn if anybody don't like my laughter. Y'all see silly stuff like that. I can't worry about stuff like that. That don't bother me. Clark knows better than to bully people. He thinks he can get away with it. Exactly. He's not gonna keep getting away with it. The charges are being dismissed against the Alderwoman is kind of proof that he's not really getting away with it. But he keeps doing it. That's the issue. He keeps doing it over and over and over again. And at some point, the judge needs to say, stop coming here on this bullshit. You're irritating all of us. This is a vile waste of tax dollars. How is this saving tax dollars here? You keep bringing forth all these charges. People are coming here being charged with stuff from going to a meeting. All because you didn't like what they said. You got to grow up and get over it. See, he needs to hear that from many judges, not just one. And they need to say it very directly and very candidly. Stop having people charged and arresting people. We're tired of seeing the same people coming here from going to a meeting and then they end up going to jail because they said something you didn't like. They need to censor his ass. If he's going to be a lawyer, they need to censor him. Something needs to happen. And it needs to come from the courts. Child. This calls to be the boss. Yeah, exactly. Someone could believe Clark and try to hurt me because he alleges I abused a child. It's such an egregious allegation. as a mother, I would never listen here because I know how I am with my kids. So when someone throws out that type of allegation like that, what you're doing is getting all these parents upset, and then you're making them weary and cautious of things. Because that's the first thing we're going to do is we're going to become overprotective of our child. And he knows what he's doing when he says that dumb shit with no evidence. It's crazy. But yeah, he wants people to go to jail for clapping. What a joke he is. You're doing a press conference this Monday at 6 before city council meeting. Oh, good. Address all of that. He is oh God. I hope she keeps the lawyer on speed dial. It's only gonna get worse. Oh yeah, super got it coming in. We'll be tuning in, man. We'll be tuning in, Ryan. And Million. Is Foxy here? We want to make sure we show some love to all the content creators out there. We're trying to get through some comments, y'all. I just want to get to. And she was released, right? She was out. Good night, Tanya. Let's ask Vivian to go so she can record it. I think she'll be there, won't she? Maybe we can ask Vivian to be at Ryan's press conference. Okay, so it's gonna be before the meeting. It's gonna be outside of the town hall. Yeah, I'll ask her tomorrow. I sure will. I'll ask Vivian tomorrow to show up so she can be there and record it. Good night, Tanya. Get some sleep. We're almost done, y'all. Thank you for bearing with me. Thank you for tuning in. 81 people still watching. I'll be filming. I do hope other YouTubers and press come out. Absolutely. I mean, if you're filming, hopefully I'm off work by that time, and then I can live stream from your live stream and show it from there. That's no problem. I'm just trying to get y'all hooked up. Absolutely. I have a feeling Viv will be there. I will message her. Awesome. I'm not in Illinois either. I wish I was. I'm not in Illinois either. But we don't have to be this here and get out information that's vital for the public to know. This is what camaraderie looks like, y'all. Just like Minion said, we gotta stand together. We not necessarily behind each other, but beside each other. You know, this is crazy. Right, I definitely will. My daughter lives in Metropolis. My husband is from Kiwani. All right, y'all ready to get to some fun? We gotta get a laugh in, because I hate the thought of her and her mother went to jail. Good grief. So I got two videos. We're gonna watch some babies, but baby Medea. And then Medea versus Brian. Yeah, these videos from Saint are hilarious. I love them. So we're going to get some good laughs in. Y'all look at these babies. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Y'all support our girl. Hit the like button. Thank you. I appreciate you all. Thank you, Lord. Shout out to my mods. I have the greatest mods ever. I appreciate you all. And this is why I go to bat for my mods. Y'all see why I go to bat for my mods. This is volunteer. They don't have to do it, but they do. And I appreciate you guys so much for tuning in. Let's have some fun. Let's laugh. And then we're going to be ending this on a positive note. And we will be tuning in tomorrow. We will be live with Vivian, having a candid conversation. And on Monday, back to business. And we'll be tuning in for your press conference, Ryan. And checking out what's going on. And now I at some point I gotta get through this lawsuit that I want to get through before Super got more court dates coming up. Good grief. We gotta keep up with her schedule now. Ain't that something? All right. Y'all make sure you all check out Warrior Goddess. This is the channel we checking out this video clip from. It's like a minute. Shout out to Saint for sending these awesome videos. And I'm just doing 2 short videos tonight because we're already hitting 2 hours. So let's get into it. You all hit the like button and put a 1 in the chat if you can see in here. Oh no!
Oh, see what you made me do? God damn it, I messed up my thing.
These are the clumps. But there's the clumps. Nutty Professor. Oh Lord, I guess I'm gonna have to send a comment saying, this is the clumps from Nutty Professor, but it's okay. I get it. They look alike.
Oh, baby, too. Oh, see what you made me do? God damn it, I messed up my thing. Man, you gotta clean yourself, you rotten.
I think I do remember hearing something on TV about colon cleansing. They say everyone should have one. I'm thinking about getting me an appointment and go down and get my colon cleansed thoroughly.
You want your colon
Thank
cleansed?
you,
Fine, I'm
Lord.
gonna clean mine. Yeah, my colon is clean. I'm talking squeaky clean.
I have me. We can start breaking gas. Don't break gas and destroy our meal.
Don't tell me to stop. You want to brought up colon cleansing and all that mess.
I did not say anything about breaking gas. I said that I was going to
You
get my colon clean.
can talk about putting the tube in somebody's ass. I can't break wind.
I didn't say nothing about putting no holes up nobody's ass, please. I
Well, what do you
said,
think of colonic is? You run the asshole?
Thank you, Lord, for the super sticker. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for the 9 cent super sticker. That's a blessing. Thank you so much. All right, let's get back to it. Just had to give you that shout out, girl.
By the car wash? I do what I want to do with this thing. Case in point.
Who that call my name?
Yeah, I told you if your name is.
You can try to me. I talk this between the crack of your ass.
Yeah, you know I can go all night.
I hope you talk to your asshole, folks.
Yeah, that's so funny. Because baby, you expect the baby wearing the diaper anyway. Oh, hold on, look at the next one. Now here's Medea. All right, this is Medea. All right, the other one was the clumps from Nutty Professor. All right, let's get to it.
It's hot as hell in this Cadillac, honey. I don't have no air conditioner.
You have one in?
I want a ham, an egg, and a cheese biscuit, okay?
Yeah.
Hello?
We out of here.
You out of ham? Okay, all right, fine. Then give me an egg and cheese biscuit.
We out of egg.
You out of egg? You just a... Fine, then just give me a damn biscuit.
It's 10:31, ma'am, and we just stopped serving breakfast.
Hold on, I've been sitting here for 15 minutes waiting on your... No, honey. No, I don't care. I want breakfast.
You want something else, like lunch or something?
Anybody say nothing about no lunch? I don't want no lunch. I want breakfast.
Everybody's all screaming on me, whatever. I don't know what you're talking about.
Baby.
I'm about to get carbon peroxide poison in this damn car, waiting on you to give me my damn food. This Cadillac is old as hell. Where's my food at?
We out of egg, we out of ham, and we out of cheese and biscuits. So can you get out of line, please?
Where's your manager?
Look, I am the manager. Now,
You
need some help?
Hold on, because somebody's screaming at me. I'm getting ready to choke the hell out of her. Hold on. Lady, you're going to need a damn doctor if you holler at me again. Do you understand? Now, what can I help you with?
I need a watch for my husband.
Men's watch.
A men's watch.
Okay,
I like it with a leather band, nice thin watch.
Here are some men's... Oh, hell. Oh, it's time for my break. It's time for my break.
Break? Oh, wait. You're so
Bye, bye,
rude.
bye. You rude as hell. You rude.
Please,
You rude as hell.
Good day.
Hey, Doc, how you doing?
Very well, thanks. Now, Mr. Brown,
Oh my
you have to take your insulin.
I can take it.
Now, you eating right?
Yes, sure. I mean, right. Yes. No, he doesn't. He's lying. Car ain't nobody.
Oh, this from Brown from brought into the Medea plays and stuff. And then he put them in the movies. The Tamala and David Mann. This is adorable. Do you see this baby with the beautiful eyes? Oh my God, the doctor! Look at that. That baby is gorgeous.
Brown, you have to take your insulin.
I can take it.
Now, you eating right?
Yes, sure. I mean, right. Yes. No, he doesn't. He's lying. Car ain't nobody. You don't call me no lie. You're dead. You gonna sit there and look at my face and call me no lie. You don't know what I eat.
I know what he ate. He ate 10 pieces of bacon, 3 eggs, a biscuit, and a pork chop with jelly and orange juice.
Just for your information, that's where you lie, because I don't even eat pork. I ate ham. Thank you.
This is Pod 5.
I hope y'all enjoyed that. That was something else. I love it. Oh my God. I grew up watching Medea, man. Now he just kind of does the same old thing over and over again. But listen, back in college about 20 years ago, oh man, Medea was hot shit. So I appreciate you all tuning in. That's what we ended it here tonight. Thank you all so much for the super chat, super stickers, for the cash apps, Zelles, all the contributions that go towards, the Lady Luck Club and the Zelle, and that goes to a StreamYard and Xfinity, towards the actual platform and everything. And as always, you guys are amazing. Keep your head up. And I'm going to stay on top of it with what's going on with the felony charge with Kobe Chapman. And probably she'll be the next Mayor of Harvey, because we just can't do little Chris anymore. Y'all, these babies are adorable. You guys make sure you hit the like button on the way out. We will see y'all tomorrow with Vivi having a candid conversation. And until the next one, Lady Luck Club out. Deuces. Good night, all.